Hey there, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn the light on. Helps a little bit if you can see me better. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about this protecting your home ownership concept and what does that mean? What does it look like? What exactly is protecting your home ownership? And what exactly is this insurance that I can get to protect that home ownership? And we've talked about all different types of things that could happen that could affect your home ownership that would give you reason to want to protect it. And, you know, a lot of times I talk about when you have questions, asking those questions, because there's so many people out there that have questions that don't always want to ask the questions because they feel like they don't understand, or maybe they're asking a dumb question or something such as that, which is absolutely never, ever, ever the case. And so I never want you to be afraid to ask. Maybe you don't want to ask it publicly, and maybe you just want to message me or pull me aside when, you know, you happen to see me out. But please don't be afraid to ask questions, because when you ask questions, those are always going to be questions that other people have, and it's going to be so important. So someone talked to me yesterday about this whole concept of someone stealing your property. Isn't that a crazy concept? Like, how could someone steal my home if I live in my house? You know, it's not like they can pick it up, put it on their back, and walk away with it. And, you know, along with that concept, you have to remember there's always going to be somebody out there that tries to find a sneaky way around something to do something that isn't the right thing to do. And so, particularly in our industry, we find this both financially and through paperwork, particularly because between the internet and technology, it gives the people that don't do things the right way so much opportunity and so much access to so much information that it makes it so much easier for them to do things that they shouldn't be doing. And so one of these things that we've seen a lot of is this whole stealing your property. And as I said, it sounds a little wacky about somebody being able to steal your property. It's not like somebody can take your house and stick it on their back and walk down the road, and you come home and there's nothing there except a piece of ground, or can steal, you know, something else off of your property, or steal the ground. They can't like roll it all up and take it with them, unlike the Grinch, who could roll up everything and drag it back up its hill. We're not talking about that kind of thing. And so it may sound a little bit confusing, and you may think, well, what exactly are you talking about here? First, let me say, hey, to those of you that are tuning in, I really appreciate your time. Hey, Rob, how are you? Hey, Miss Pam, how are you this morning? Well, good morning, Miss Michelle. How are you today? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you guys are on and tuning in either live or on the replay, let me know. Let me know that what we're talking about is something that's helpful for you, because that really helps me mold what we're going to talk about next. So let's talk about this, somebody stealing your property after you go to closing. So we're not talking about those silly things that I explained, because that seems a little extreme. But with technology, someone can prepare a document and forge signatures and transfer what is intended to be that ownership to potentially take away that ownership of yours. Now, what do you have to do? So let's talk about what that process looks like first, because there's the confusion, first of all, is what happens? How can somebody do this? So a lot of counties in a lot of states have the land records online. So what that means is anybody can search anything about your property that is public record. And so the public record is that you have a mortgage or two, that you maybe have a lien that's recorded against you, maybe that you have an agreement with someone that's recorded, maybe your divorce information is recorded and it would be pulled up when someone looks through the land records because it references a property, or the ownership deed of your property. The way that you own a piece of property is to have a deed to that piece of property. So you actually have an ownership deed. And so what happens is you're talking about somebody who's sitting in their mom's basement in their pajamas, and they're trying to figure out ways to either steal money or make money illegally. And one of the ways they're doing it now is they're pulling up those land records. They're recreating a deed that transfers the ownership suspectly from you when it's really not you. They pull up the deed that's in title now in the ownership. They see who owns it. They actually prepare that deed. Someone forges your signatures and they transfer it to someone else. potentially themselves or someone else that's in this loop that actually then can sell that property for a profit. And now the fraudsters have made all of this money and they've sold your property. Now someone is coming to you, knocking on your door and saying, hey, what are you doing in my house? I just purchased this property. And yes, of course, they did it illegally and they can't take your home, but you have to defend yourself. Now what do? You have to defend your ownership interest, because just because someone says that they own the piece of property and you say, no, you don't, hey, I got this legally, you got it illegally, you have to defend yourself. And so now you're talking about going through a process to defend that interest that you don't know anything about. So you have to go through the court system to do that and to prosecute this person and to defend your interest and to get this deed that they did illegally removed from that chain of title. And you have to go through a court process to do that. And to do that, you need an attorney that is very well versed in land record information and property use. And so what happens is protecting your home ownership, as I've said lots of times, protects you today for things that happened in the past before your ownership. But there is a newer type of title insurance policy that most title companies offer now across the board, because we feel like this is coverage that you expected that you were getting anyway, and it covers you for a lot of additional things besides just protecting for things that happened before. And one of those things is it protects you for things like this that can come up in the future. And I bring this up because, as I said, questions from the crowd. I had a conversation yesterday with someone who had a question similar to this, because apparently there are companies out there trying to sell you insurance to protect you from someone stealing your home. So think about that for a minute. Someone is trying to sell you insurance to protect you from someone stealing your home, when you went to closing, your title company either had the conversation with you and gave you that option, or thought forward and protected you by providing you with that home ownership protection, that title insurance policy that is the enhanced policy, or it's called a lot of different things. It's the more advanced owner's policy now. Then you're going to be protected. There's no insurance you need. So you need to make sure that you have the conversation with the title company that you're closing with so you can understand what you're protected against. But your home ownership is protected in that particular case, both from when you originally purchased the property backwards and going forward against this type of thing. So this kind of, you think, oh my God, this is crazy, this will never happen to me. But in today's world with technology the way it is, it can happen, and it's happening. And the reason that we know it's common and happening more often is because now there's a company created out there that is trying to sell you insurance that you already have. So if you have any questions about that, you want some help, you want to understand this a little bit better, reach out to me. Let me know. Reach out to the company that did your closing. They should be able to walk you through this. If not, certainly there's a lot of information online, but anybody on our team can help you understand this. This concept and lots of other things with respect to your real estate, your closing, and protecting your home ownership. So hopefully I spurred a question. I'm pretty sure I probably didn't answer a question for you, because you might not have had the question yet on this particular one, because this is kind of new. But maybe I spurred a question. Maybe it made you think about something that you didn't understand, or maybe it will spur a question in a bigger picture about some information about protecting your home ownership. So hopefully I helped you a little bit. That's always my goal. My passion is to give you lots of good information to help you have the resources and the information you need to make successful choices, and to make sure you understand that the title company you're working with is working for you to protect your home ownership. So hopefully I helped you a little bit today. I love looking forward to talking to you guys. We scheduled talk to you 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, between 8 and 8:30 a.m. And then if something crazy comes up, I usually reach out to you guys during the week. So hope you guys have a fantastic week, rest of the week. I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Connie, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.